Jordan Peele's 2019 horror masterpiece takes the thrills up to 11. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest scenes from Us. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at scenes from this 2019 horror film that crawled under our skin and never left us. For those who haven't seen the movie yet, there will be spoilers. Number 10. Seeing all the tethered. We've all heard the phrase afraid of one's own shadow. It's a notion that this movie takes quite literally, as it's revealed that there's an entire underground society of doppelgangers known as the Tethered, mimicking our every move.
We were born special.
Seeing the Tethered imitate the people up above is disturbing on several levels. We can all identify with the fear of being alone, but the idea of never being left alone is infinitely creepier. What if there were always someone following in your footsteps and you never even realized it? When you live a privileged lifestyle, it's easy to go about your day with a strong sense of security. The Tethered go to show that security is only an illusion, motivating us to forever watch our backs. Number 9. Zora kills Umbre. In her film debut, Shahadi Wright-Joseph turns in a stellar dual performance that flawlessly transitions between the sassy Zora Wilson and the sinister Umbre.
You could have the boat for all I care.
Nobody wants the boat, Dad.
With wide, dead eyes and a permanent smile etched across her soulless face, it doesn't take much more than a glance from Umbre to make our hair rise. Umbre is even more horrifying when she's on the move, like in this scene where she cracks through the Wilson sunroof with a pair of scissors.
She's there!
Sora's skillful driving sends Umbre flying off the car, impaling her on a tree. Although we're relieved to see this little monster go, Umbre's death is also incredibly unsettling. Even when bleeding out, there isn't enough pain in the world to wipe away her ghastly grin. Number 8. Gabe on the boat. From the get-go, we all had Gabe pegged as the least likely member of the Wilson family to survive the night.
Crawdaddy!
The guy obviously never took Horror 101, as he makes all the mistakes that typically get people killed in slasher movies. When his doppelganger Abraham wraps him up in a bag, it appears Gabe is headed for a watery demise. Although the audience is overcome with dread, Gabe ends up being more resourceful than we initially gave him credit for. Putting that trusty baseball bat to effective use, he emerges from the bag and starts swinging. Knocking his counterpart overboard, Gabe finishes Abraham off by firing up the motor engine, shredding him into chum. Way to defy the Deadpool odds, Gabe. Number 7. Pluto walks through fire. Jason and his doppelganger Pluto share one of the film's most intriguing dynamics. It quickly becomes clear to the youngest Wilson that he has an unusual influence over his lookalike. When the family stumbles upon Pluto standing before their burning vehicle, Jason senses that something isn't right. His instincts were correct, as Pluto has left a trail of gasoline leading to the vehicle the Wilsons are driving. Before Pluto can drop his lighter, however, Jason takes several steps backwards. Like a mirror image, Pluto backs up into the fire without showing any signs of resistance. This scene has sparked various theories regarding Jason's hold over Pluto. We may never get a definitive answer, but much like a magic trick, the mystery is what makes it so compelling. Number 6. Adelaide in the tunnels. Adelaide must confront her two greatest fears in the film's climax, potentially losing a child and returning to the source of her paranoia. When Red snatches Jason, Adelaide ventures back into the Hall of Mirrors for the first time since childhood. The underground tunnels have been mostly abandoned aside from rabbits, but that doesn't make the setting any less menacing. The hollow halls alone will leave anybody trembling with uncertainty and anticipation.
Where is he?
Although Adelaide manages to rescue Jason, the film's final minutes deliver a twist that presents everything we just watched in a whole new light. It's revealed that Adelaide and Red switched places during their youth, calling into question who the true villain was. I guess there really are two sides to every story. Number 5. A dance duet.
That's when I saw God, and He showed me my path. You felt it too.
Just as there are two sides to every story, you can interpret music in more ways than one. Looney's I Got 5 on It was once viewed as a catchy hip-hop song you might sing along to on a car ride. This movie reinvents the tune into a spine-chilling symphony that's at its scariest during a dance duet. Dance provides Red and Adelaide with an outlet to express themselves as they adjust to their new environments.
And to think, if it weren't for you, I never would have danced at all.
Up above, the fake Adelaide regains her confidence at her ballet recital. As the real Adelaide dances down below, she's encouraged to rise up against her oppressors.
I didn't just need to kill you. I needed to make a statement that the whole world would see.
This masterfully mirrors the final confrontation between Red and Adelaide in the present, making for a feat of editing and choreography. Number 4. Welcome to the Hall of Mirrors. From the opening set piece onward, Us overwhelms its audience with an impending sense of doom. While everything seems fairly normal on the surface, we can tell that something's off as young Adelaide walks across the boardwalk with a candy apple in hand. As her father busies himself at a whack-a-mole game, Adelaide branches off onto the beach and heads inside a hall of mirrors. In one of the subtlest yet spookiest shots of modern horror movies, Adelaide finds herself standing back-to-back with a girl who looks exactly like her. Turning around, Adelaide stands front to back with her lookalike in confusion. As these two finally come face to face, the audience is left completely speechless. Number 3. The Tyler's Home Invasion. As we approach the film's second act, it suddenly dawns on the audience that the Wilson family's deadly doppelgangers are only the tip of the iceberg.
I heard something outside.
Okay.
A rustling, walking like a person.
It's a routine night at the Tyler household until Kitty hears a strange noise outside. The first thought that pops into our heads is that this must be one of the tethered. Our initial response turns out to be right and wrong. The tethered are indeed afoot, but these ones aren't connected to the Wilsons.
Guys, we have to be out of here at 10 a.m. tomorrow sharp, so... Hello?
Oh my god!
Becca and Lindsay are quickly disposed of by their own lookalikes, while Josh is taken out by his counterpart. Receiving no help from her OS, Kitty meets the same gruesome fate. This ingenious twist caught us off guard, while also significantly upping the ante. Number 2. There's a family in our driveway.
There's a family in our driveway.
When people think of this movie, the image of 4 shadowy figures standing side by side immediately comes to mind. The Wilsons aren't sure what to make of it when they find a family of 4 standing in their driveway.
If y'all are out here trying to scare people, I think you picked the wrong house for that.
Frozen in place, these strangers are totally unresponsive, which is more than enough to intimidate the Wilsons and the audience. Adding to the anxiety, the police are 14 minutes away, and they end up taking even longer than that. Gabe decides to take a blunt approach, threatening to get crazy with a baseball bat.
Now, I thought I already done told y'all to get off my property, okay? So if y'all want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
Unfortunately, this is the equivalent of kicking a hornet's nest. With a simple gesture from the family matriarch, the strangers split up, and a home invasion unlike any other commences. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I said, come here. Get talking to you.
Number 1. Red Speaks.
There was a girl, and the girl had a shadow.
Through her chilling voice alone, Lupita Nyong'o gives one of the most petrifying performances in the history of horror as Red.
But when the shadow was hungry, she had to eat rabbit, raw and bloody.
Sitting the Wilsons down, their doppelgangers send them blank stares while Red does all the talking. Red sounds as if she were strangled to the brink of death, which turns out to be spot on. In her blood-curdling voice, Red tells an unnerving story about a girl who was given every opportunity and a shadow who was left behind to pick up her table scraps.
The shadow had to do it all.
This twisted tale has all the vibes of a classic ghost story. Its themes not only provide a haunting reflection of Red's link to Adelaide, but also the parallels between the socially advantaged and those who've been rejected by the higher-ups.
The shadow hated the girl so much for so long. Until one day, the shadow realized she was being tested.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.